I could become a billionaire tomorrow. And my dad's like, yeah, but she's unmarried. I'm in consulting, I'm 30, and I am a virgin. Thanks, man. That usually gets more shock from the crowd, but you guys took one look at me and were like, yeah, for sure. That's fine. There's a couple of reasons why I haven't yet surrendered my virtue. Number one, I went to a private Christian school. So they only taught us abstinence. They were like, the safest sex is no sex. Which was a crazy thing to tell teenagers in a Christian school because our mascot was a teenage virgin who had a baby. But that's fine. The second is my parents. My parents were really strict, religious Christian refugees. And so when they would talk to us about sex, they didn't, they're brown, that's not true. They would talk to us about virginity. My mom was like, Joanna, when you give your virginity, you never get it back. You bond for life and you fall in love, so you'd better think long and hard before you do it. And I locked that away. Then one day I'm in high school, I get my period, I need a pad, and my friend doesn't have one, so she gives me a tampon. But I didn't know what those were, so I brought it home, and I gave it to my mom, and I was like, what is this? And she's like, Joanna, if you wear tampons, you're gonna lose your virginity. Is that what you want? And I said, no, because I know that when you lose your virginity, you bond for life, and I wasn't gonna fall in love with a fucking tampon, not me. So I went back to school, and I gave it to my friend, and I was like, you take this back, whore. She's like, Joe, if ever you need one, I always have it in my locker. I was like, I bet you do, because you're in love. So if anybody's wondering, I'm single. My friends think I'm single because I'm picky. Lies, it's not true. When it comes to guys, my standards are so very low, it's almost insulting. You could cure cancer, ma'am, and I'd be like, great. But I expect women to do incredible things. I could see a guy tie his shoelaces, and I'd be like, bow, 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 bow. Look at that guy. She cured cancer, but she went on mat leave because she's fucking lazy. But you're ready to be a father. And I didn't know. I was like, why am I like this? But I know that my low standards comes from my culture, because the boys in our culture can do anything and they'll be praised, which I guess is every culture, but specifically mine. So I could become a billionaire tomorrow. And my dad's like, yeah, but she's unmarried. My brother could become a murderer. And they'd be like, listen, Ian recycles, he's a good boy, please. Right? It was crazy. I used to be on the apps. Is anybody here on the apps? Exactly. Hard silence. No. The apps are trash. I left them for like a long time because all the guys on the apps are the same. They have the same bios, right? They all love gym, travel, food. It's a picture for each. It's them doing a push-up next to a bowl of cereal with like a vague exotic tree in the background. Where's it from? They love to travel. Who knows? And their height. Their height is always there. And I was always like, why is this a personality trait? I don't care about height. Until I started meeting the guys. Then I was like, yeah, your height is the most interesting thing about it. You're talking, and I don't like it. But talking is hard. It's hard for me, especially when it comes to like love and sex. I missed the part where everybody got cool about sex, and I can pinpoint exactly when it happened. I was in high school, and the rumors were starting, and someone's like, oh, I heard Kevin fingered Jamie, and I was like, ew. What does that mean, though? What are we talking about? I was downhill from there. The older I got, my friends are talking about their sexual fantasies, right? They're like, we have a fantasy where we have sex, and I'm the boss, and he's my secretary. Cool. We have a fantasy where we have sex, and we're both Captain Marvel. Inevitably it gets to me, and I want to be involved. I'm like, yeah, I have a fantasy where like I'm having sex. Does anybody else want to go? Or... And so my friends are like, Joe, you have to practice. You have to get on the apps and start talking to guys. And I was like, okay, sure. Disaster. These guys go so hard on the apps, right? And so I'm getting a text from this guy. Early text, right? He's like, hey, I bet you like it rough. And I'd be like, your guess is as good as mine. And I'll leave you on this. This is the worst one. I get a text. It's like 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. He's like, hey, are you tight? And I was like, yeah, I'm fucking sealed. Hey, my name is Joanna. Thank you so much.
Ha ha ha, loft.